I'm here with Robert Duvall. I saw the film in Toronto, and
Right.
at that point in time, it was coming out of nowhere. No one knew the director. They knew you were in it.
That was like when? Last October?
September, yeah.
Going almost a year, not quite.
I
Yeah.
have to see it again. I'm going to see it
Yeah.
tonight because
Oh,
I
good.
really loved it.
That's going to be my last time. I've only seen it once. I want to see it tonight because it'll be my last chance to see it in a big theater with a big screen and all. So I'm going to look forward to it.
Yeah. So I was looking over your extraordinary resume, and it struck me. I mean, I had the sense anyway, but it struck me that you've been doing a lot of independent films in the last few years.
Yeah, some. Why not?
And I wondered
It's
if explain to me. I mean, because you used to do a mix, a lot of studio films and a lot of indies too, but now you seem to be really concentrating on that.
The mix isn't there as much now, But I'll do it. But yeah, but there's been about four films that have come that are terrific, as good as ever. The projects are there, but they can't get the money for them.
Ah.
Including Terry Gilliam.
Right.
Supposed to work with.
You're going to do Don Quixote.
Yeah, but hopefully
that would be so cool. What a great
hopefully
part.
it'll still happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
He's doing something else in the meantime.
Yeah, well, he can't get the money yet, and so I'm ready to start riding horses again, because I was doing that. But then Billy Bob Thornton's written a script. It is so good.
What is it? What's it called?
He puts Tennessee Williams in the back seat. It's just a kind of a family thing that after World War I and II about. It's just so southern and so unique. And he just finished it a few weeks ago. I don't know if they get the money for that. Who knows? Then there's the Hatfields and the McCoys, which is a phenomenal script that Eric Roth wrote. And then there's another one called An Night in New Mexico that this wonderful young French director's obsessed with and wants to do. These independent things, kind of like A Star Is Fell on Henrietta.
Yeah.
Those wonderful little films that.
And Crazy Heart.
Again. Crazy Heart.
Which you really helped.
I helped get it off the ground,
really
produce.
did.
Yeah, exactly.
And in this case, I was curious how much you got involved. A script comes your way, you think it's good. How much do you get in there and tinker?
Well, some. It's always, if you get tinker too much, then people, not that they get, there's a meeting ground, so you don't step on too many toes. But you got to kind of defend yourself, because there was a movie I did years ago that they cut it. I wouldn't see it for a year. It was one of those low independent films that they just cut it up so much that I wouldn't see it for a year.
Do you remember which one?
Tomorrow.
Ah.
The Faulkner's film that Horton Foote made the adaptation. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I never did.
Yeah, it just really
must have gone by the way. But so what is that line? I mean, you need to make I mean, I talked to Jeff Bridges about this because he's willing to take chances. A lot of actors are now,
Jeff
because
does.
Sometimes that's the best material, but it's a first-time director. I mean, how do you know?
Well, that's okay. I mean, sometimes the 50th time director isn't so good either. So why not a first-time director? Why not?
Sometimes they're putting their heart and soul in it.
Oh, absolutely. The main thing you got to watch is they get it so in their head that they got to, once you start filming it, they got to let it come from you. They got to turn around and let it come from the subject. Sometimes it's hard for them to do that if they don't come from an acting background or whatever. But you can find a way of meeting halfway.
So how much is it about the putting the costume and the makeup and the hair and all of that, and drawing the line of where you've gone too far or where it's just right? How do you figure that out?
That all helps. That it's all part of it. But if you don't feel what you have an understanding of what that character is, but the writing was so good here, and there was enough there that a distant maybe connection to some of my uncles in Virginia.
Uh-huh.
So it wasn't that difficult to come up with what I think I needed to come up with.
But this is one of those films about someone who's trying to define who he really is.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the character a little bit in terms of what he's trying to accomplish? He does this outrageous thing.
Well, I think he has such a tremendous something within himself that it's his deepest anything he knows about. I mean, it's as deep as he is, and it's something he needs to get off his chest, some guilt. So by setting up and going to his own funeral, although he wants people to come to hear what they say about him, what really happens, he's the one that gets up and talks, and when to get rid of this guilt, and when that's over, the scene's over. He's out of there. He really wants to get something off his chest. It's been there for years and years.
All right, so you do this scene at the end of the movie, the climax of the movie. You've been pretty taciturn. You've been laconic. You know, suddenly you give this speech,
Yes.
and it was done in one take. I understand. How is that something where you have to prepare for that for night after night after night
You just
to get
think
that
about
right?
it for a long time.
Yeah.
I took we vacationed in northern Argentina where my wife's people are from, and I just sat at this hotel looking out at the Andes Mountains. And I'd studied that script and what I guess I gained a sense of solitude and privacy around me that I was able to take into that part, into that scene at the end. And just a scene, very simple. They had to just tell people. And it's interesting because this movie reminds me very much of a Horton Foote movie. And Horton Foote, I wanted him to see it, but he was 93 at the time. Now, the first time I gave it the speech, the day before I gave it for the audience, before they did it me the next day, my wife, and the mule comes on with the coffin I built for myself when I really die. My wife is off camera, my real wife, and she, as this scene progresses, she gets a phone call at that moment that Horton Foote just died. I mean, she got goosebumps, and when the scene was over, I was so moved. It's like full circle from To Kill a Mockingbird to this point, because he never got to see the movie, but it was like he was there. It was so strange.
Boo Radley was your first part.
Yes.
I
first
remember
movie.
seeing that when I was a little kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think that this movie stands up. Actually, I think he would have been proud of it.
Oh, I think so. Very much like his film, a little more edge maybe, but a lot like his writing. His daughter and son-in-law are going to see it tonight, so I want to see what